Hello friends, we're in Olympic National Park today, and we are starting out a couple of day hike. We're going to go up the Elwha Valley, eventually go up over Appleton Pass and come down into the Sol Duc Valley, and we'll end our hike in a couple of days on the Sol Duc. Okay, on the Elwha Washout Bypass Trail now. That's a little section that really was hairy, but they have cut through this tree here, and we've got maybe a 30-yard section now that is easily passable when before it was not. This is not the official trail. You shouldn't go down this one if it is real high water, because the trail could be compromised. Should we get a quick shot? Oh yes. The mighty Elwha. Arriving at the Glines Canyon Overlook. Moon's rising. Mount Fitzhenry, and we are going to take the hairpin curve and keep heading up towards Boulder Creek and the Olympic Hot Springs and Appleton Pass, and then the Sol Duc. There's the old lake bed down there. And right down there in the middle is the old Glines Canyon Dam. Hurricane Hill is right there. Preparing to take off on this second day after we stayed here at the old horse unload dock just near the Boulder Creek Trailhead. And this was a pleasant little spot. We had our tent set up right here, and there was a little bit of water down below there. We ended up stopping after dark and got everything all fired up and started setting up camp. And headlamp batteries were bad and dying quickly. Fortunately, I had brought a new pair with me, or 4 of them anyway, and so I was able to set up camp and have a good time here last night. So we're getting ready to go, and I'll show you down here. There's a little hitching post for the horse unload, but anyway, there's a little creek gully right down behind us here, and we're going to head up there and head towards Appleton Pass. Oh, pretty amazing trailhead with a restroom and no cars around in the summertime. That's because the road is washed out back there 7 or so miles. Okay, Appleton Pass Trailhead, a hot springs in 2.2 miles, guard station. Hot Springs themselves in 2.4, Boulder Lake 5.9, Appleton Pass 7.7 miles. That's where we're going today. So that'll end up being just about the same as we hiked yesterday to get up here to our camp just before the trailhead here. High Divide is 13.8 miles away. Sol Duc Ranger Station 17 miles. Olympus Ranger Station on the Hoh River 22.7. That's where we were at earlier this summer. And the Hoh Ranger Station 31.7. So you can get everywhere from here. It just takes a while for you to walk. And we're here at 1825 feet. This creek is just before the Olympic Hot Springs and the Boulder Creek campground. There was a pretty elaborate bridge here that went from this side over to there, and it was a suspension bridge, but there was a slide here and it damaged it pretty severely. They had to take it out. You can see one of the anchors right there for the suspension cables. But anyway, there's a foot log up above here. We'll go through there to get past this pretty deep ravine. poles in our left hand here for the right hand rail. Okay, junction time now. We're at the intersection here where the trail to the left goes to the hot springs, crosses the creek, goes over to the other side, and to the right, Boulder Creek campground and the Appleton Pass Trail. We're going to the right. Okay, we're getting to a trail junction, and it's now about an hour and a half since we started today. And straight ahead now goes to Appleton Pass. You can make a loop out of going up to Boulder Creek by going all the way up to Boulder Lake, and then it loops up Happy Lake Ridge to Happy Lake, and then comes out down on the same road we climbed up last night. Real close to where the viewpoint into Lake Mills is, the former Lake Mills. So we'll continue now, and we're going to get to a creek crossing here in not too long, and then we'll be in the area shortly after that of the Boulder Creek Falls. I forgot to turn the camera on, but I just crossed here. Right in there is where I stepped over that log and in and went across right in front of it and came up the logs here and across this pool. These are really slippery. I remember this crossing here. It always is kind of dicey, but if you have poles, you're to be fine. There's a party of 3 hikers just right behind me. They're going to Appleton Pass too, and I talked to them for a moment, and we're all going the same way. Upper Boulder Creek Falls. Ever since we passed the falls, I've never been up this high. It says this is the South Fork of Boulder Creek. Anyway, hiked a couple more hours since our last break, and so really stopped on a convenient rest log and had a snack, a little bit of a rest, checked the GPS. Looks like we were about 3,300 feet in elevation. The pass looks like it's about 5,000, so that leaves us about 1,700 feet to go in elevation. This does not look good. Okay, well, yeah. Large brushy area to go through here. Perfect place to run into a bear. But let's look positive. Nice flowers in this field. My goodness. Well, we finally cleared all of this brush here. We couldn't see maybe a foot ahead of us there at times. That's beautiful up there. So now we're getting out of the brushy area and heading up this way here. Oh, whole bunches of glacier lilies here. Best I can tell is the pass is right up there. We're getting closer. Within the last 1,000 feet. It looks like it's going to be really steep at the last part. On the homeward stretch, it appears that that is the pass up in the top there. Little frog down there. All right, we're set up at a camp right at Appleton Pass. We got our water at Oyster Lake, and we're looking over Mount Everett and Mount Appleton. It's right straight ahead. The trail down to the Sol Duc is actually right in front of us here. Isn't this just gorgeous? Glacier lilies. Oh my word. I went for a walk and I have visitors when I came back. All right, just a little bit after 8, we're underway on the trail now. We're going to go, I believe it is 7.3 miles back to the trailhead. And we have a bicycle placed near there. And then we're going to ride 15 miles out on the road to Highway 101, where we will catch a Clown Transit bus back to the Elwha, and then ride the short 2-3 miles it is up to the trailhead there and pick up the vehicle. So a full day ahead. We have our food and the camp all secure and on the way on the trail here, heading south. And I think it's 2.6 miles maybe to get down to the Sol Duc Trail, and then it's a relative cruise except for the first maybe mile. Once you reach the river bottom, it's pretty easy traveling on that trail. compared to what we did yesterday. Yesterday was very challenging to get up from Boulder Creek here and get up here to Appleton Pass, which is right up in there. So here's our switchbacks as we leave the Appleton Pass area, and a lot of bear grass growing right now. There's those big white flowers. And up in the distance is Seven Lakes Basin and Bogachiel Peak. In the distance this time, through the fog that's drifting up from the Sol Duc Valley, you've got Sol Duc Park down below, I believe, and that heads up to the basin where Heart Lake is. And in the distance, on the other side of that ridge, Mount Olympus, the highest peak on the Olympic Peninsula. Now the forest has changed now. We're out of the alpine and we're seeing a little bit of salal brush down below, huckleberry, and now we've got some mostly hemlocks for the trees. Great view while I take a little break. Some big Douglas firs. Well, we just passed the 3,500 foot sign for the no stove mark on this trail going down to the Sol Duc, the Appleton Pass Trail. So we've already dropped 1,500 feet, and I show that we only have we probably only have about 500 feet in elevation to go until we drop down to the Sol Duc Trail. Okay, just talked to a fellow hiker who was coming up for a moment, and he says you got to get your feet wet here. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? I don't mind getting my feet wet again because I had wet socks to begin with today. Isn't that something? All right, I see trail intersection signs ahead. That means we have passed the Appleton Pass Trail, and we're going to be heading on to the Sol Duc Trail. 2.6 miles, I believe it was, from the pass. We're down here at about 3,000 feet. Seven Lakes Basin is to the left, and the Sol Duc Road is to the right. So there you see the sign. And here tells us that we go to Appleton Pass back up at the left. So we say goodbye to the Appleton Pass Trail. It was beautiful and pretty, but really tough too. Sol Duc Road, here we come. I just ran into a hiker who is going to do the Seven Lakes Basin High Divide Loop as a day hike. That's about 19 miles. and he is doing it doing it clockwise. That's a little bit tougher because in the late afternoon you can reach Boulder Peak, which is the highest part of the climb, and the sun is out. Most people like to do it counterclockwise, go up to Deer Lake first, then hit Boulder Peak, get all the climbing out of the way while the sun is still not very high, and then you can spend the late afternoon down here in the trees, which makes it a lot easier. Got enough room?
Yeah, that looks great.
All right.
Yeah. How's your adventure going?
Oh, good. Coming down from Appleton Pass.
Ooh, nice. You went out for a good one.
Yeah, it was fun. Came from the Elwha.
All right.
Hey,
How you get home?
Oh, I've got a bike stashed in the brush.
Oh, okay.
All right, we have arrived to the area of Sol Duc Falls. Now we're going to go down and take a look at it. It's just a slight detour. Plenty of people on this trail as compared to what we saw yesterday. Here's the old CCC picnic shelter, camp shelter. And as you can see, traffic wall to wall here. Back at the trailhead, and plenty of cars and day hikers in this section.
Back away slowly.
So we're wrapping up this 3-day, estimating around 24-mile hike, where we went from the Elwha Valley to the Sol Duc via Appleton Pass. My goodness, it was a wonderful hike. Very tough challenge yesterday going up Appleton Pass, and it was worth it. We had an excellent time, and I hope you've enjoyed our little sojourn into Olympic National Park. I thank you all for watching. Until next time, friends, you take care. So long.